Welcome, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us yet again on Cricket Next. We're building up to the second qualifier of IPL season 2023. I'm Shivani Gupta, and joining me are my colleagues. We'll be joined by Vineet, my Cricket Next colleague, who's joining us from Ahmedabad, in fact, at the Narendra Modi Stadium. He will be, of course, bringing us some of the latest updates that we can look forward to as far as the conditions and especially the pitch is concerned. We know, generally speaking, what to expect from the Narendra Modi Stadium, but of course, we'll talk to Vineet for more. And also, our in-house experts, Jamie Alter and Chetan Narula, are also joining us. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for your time. And what a big game we have on our hands, isn't it, Chetan? Just for the backdrop of this clash, of course, the stage is setting itself. It's the second qualifier, make or break, as we are calling it, and there's a place in the final up for grabs. But GT and MI this season are all square at 1-all. Gujarat won by 55 runs in Ahmedabad. Mumbai won by 27 runs at Wankhede. Gives you a sense that these are both sides that like to bat big and possibly back the opposition out of the match. And once again, but this match, because it's happening in Ahmedabad, does that give Gujarat the slight edge, Chetan?
Hi Shivani. No, I'm not sure if it gives Gujarat the edge despite the match being in Ahmedabad because the pitch is going to be suited to both batting lineups. As you rightly mentioned, they both like to bat well, they both like to bat big. Both sides like to chase, tall scores, do the impossible. So both would want to chase today, lay down the marker when presented with a target. In fact, so yes, the stakes couldn't be higher. Obviously, Mumbai Indians bouncing back from last season's disappointment. I think personally this is already a successful season for them. And Gujarat Titans, I mean, they're competing with Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians to become the only repeat winner in the history of IPL. So, as you mentioned, lots at stake. Couldn't be more hyped up for this clash tonight.
Jamie, before I go to Vineet, there's something interesting I found as far as the statistics for Gujarat and Ahmedabad are concerned. All from 2023, they've scored the highest total at this stadium, the Narendra Modi Stadium. They've also had the highest chase at the Narendra Modi Stadium against them. It was over 200 runs. And they've also been restricted. In fact, Delhi Capitals defended a low score of 130 also against Gujarat Titans. So they've had a little bit of a rainbow spectrum of fortunes when it comes to results and the scores at the stadium. What do you make of this match?
Look, I think what this does is it gives us, varied totals and varied range of cricket. I'm very keen to see exactly what the nature of this track is because, like we've all been saying, it comes down to Mumbai's batting against Gujarat's bowling. That said, Gujarat have, like you mentioned, Gujarat have been able to put up big totals here, but God forbid for them, Shubman Gill doesn't click. Where are those runs going to come from? Yes, of course, Shubman Gill's had a terrific year here. He's got hundreds here. He's got 94 not out here. If he clicks, we could be looking at 220 for Gujarat. But given the way that Mumbai have stormed into the playoffs, especially Cameron Green getting that 100 against Hyderabad, then the way their batsmen put up 182 in Chennai, no one got a 50, but a series of aggressive batting displays got them there. So I just think right now it's definitely, for me at least, it's advantage Mumbai on that batting track.
All right. Speaking of the track, Vineet, why don't you tell us what can we have in store for the match today?
Look, I'm standing here at the Narendra Modi Stadium, and we had a look at the pitch. Not exactly the pitch, but the entire pitch because it was covered. There are nine pitches, nine pitch here at the Narendra Modi Stadium, mix of black and red soil. The Delhi game that you mentioned about earlier was played on the red soil, and most of those runs, high scoring, have been on the black soil. So it will be quite interesting which track they choose. What we can gather here is that it will be a fresh track. The least of the used tracks is what these days would be using. So that, in a way, as both Chetan and JD mentioned, would be advantage for Mumbai. But then again, if it is red soil versus Noor Ahmed, they'll come into play, and Gujarat would be thinking on those lines as well. Practice match yesterday, practice session we had seen. There was a lot of chatter in the Gujarat Titans camp. David Miller, Hardik Pandya, it was in a way full-fledged, Gujarat Titans team playing, and what they were trying to do was. They were doing range hitting. So that also gives you a clue that it is going to be a high scoring game and a belter of a track you could expect. From Mumbai side, there was only one person that came to the practice, and that was Rohit Sharma. And again, range hitting was the order of the day. So it is more towards a batting, friendly contest you can expect.
Yeah, we've got someone peeking through your frame there, Vineet. I think he wants to be part of the conversation today.
I think most of the people here are. I mean, the buzz is very, 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 palpable here. People have started coming in. There's a lot of Gujarat Titans jerseys, a lot of Mumbai Indian Rohit Sharma jerseys, and quite interestingly, a lot of Royal Challengers and Virat Kohli jerseys also I can spot here.
All right, all right. Okay, Chetan, Jamie mentioned about Gill, and you and I had discussed it before the GT versus Chennai match as well. And you were of the opinion, and fair enough. You could argue this both sides that when Gill has not fired, others had pitched in. But as we saw in that match against Chennai, just because Gill couldn't quite get going, he couldn't quite accelerate when they needed it, we didn't quite see the others pitch in. You could argue there were some decisions here and there that could have been to their downfall in that match. But do you think they've got a concern today?
I'm not really sure, Shivani. I mean, as with due respect to Jamie's opinion, I haven't really felt that from Gujarat's point of view because every time Shubman, I mean, you look at the losses that they have encountered, they haven't necessarily come down to their batting in those such scenarios. I mean, you look at Hardik Pandya, he was 50 plus and he couldn't finish off the match. You had Rinku Singh scoring that chase. Those were not down to Gujarat's batting issues. I mean, they had scored 200 when Rinku chased it down. So there is some truth to it because obviously he scored so many runs and the next one hasn't really scored 300 runs. So there is definitely some truth to it. Gujarat has also experimented with its batting lineup a lot. I mean, they had Sai Sudarshan at 3, then Vijay Shankar at 3, Hardik Pandya at 3. Basically, they've been experimenting too much. They don't really know what's their 3, 4, 5. And it's a bit too late to really identify what is the right order there. And obviously, you can't really deny that they are dependent on Shubman Gill. There is no denying that. But to assume that just because he's not going to score, the rest will also fail, I think that's a bit of a stretch. And I say that especially because the conditions in the Ahmedabad would be batting friendly, and Gujarat would know these conditions really well. So maybe Jamie's opinion held right in the previous game because the pitch was a little tougher. But it would be slightly different. I think it would be slightly different given today's context of the game.
On top of that, Jamie, you've got not just Gujarat playing in what is a home condition for them, and as Chetan said, that they would know these conditions better. On top of that, they've got a bowling lineup which is the envy of every team in this contest. So not only do they have that batting, prowess, but they also have the best bowlers in the competition and people who've clicked together so well. That could be the difference. Even though Mumbai and its bowling lineup, did so tremendously well in that match against Lucknow. They shocked everyone. We were only expecting spinners to rule roost, but that wasn't the case in that match at all. It was a slightly different track. What do you make of that fact? Both in batting and in bowling, Gujarat's players have done a little bit better than the rest.
Absolutely. When you have Mohammad Shami and Rashid Khan, like literally vying for the purple cap, I mean, that's an outstanding pair to have, right? Mohammad Shami, outstanding in the power play. I was seeing the numbers. He's not got Rohit and Ishan Kishan a lot, but he's also not denied them runs, and that is almost as good as taking one wicket inside the power play if you're keeping two struggling batsmen quiet. Rashid Khan, I mean, he's Rashid Khan. I know stats-wise, this is his most expensive IPL. But when he's got 23, 24 wickets, no one's going to complain. But then look at the second layer, right? Noor Ahmed is done very, very well. Mohit Sharma has done very, very well. So of your 5, because let's face it, Hardik Pandya is not going to bowl once again. You have 5 bowling options. And of those 5, 4 are in the wicket. So exactly, it comes down to how well they bowl against Mumbai's batting. And that's it. If all their batsmen, like Chetan mentioned, if they all start to score, they're going to outrank Mumbai. Because Mumbai, okay, the batting is great, but the bowling is not. Akash Madwal has been a revelation because he's taken 3 wickets, 4 wickets, and 5 wickets. That's as many, if if not more than what all the other Pacers combined took. But Shubman Gill, Saha, we saw Saha at this very ground, got what, 80 something? He was man of the match. If David Miller has a good day, if Hardik Pandya can finally show up with the bat, this team is going to smash Mumbai Indians, right? So, yes, absolutely. But those ifs and buts, we know how they work in cricket. Sounds great sometimes. If they don't fail, I'm going to stick my neck out and say, Shubman Gill goes, this team is not going to do anything again.
Just speaking about Rashid Khan, he's taken 6 wickets in 2 games versus the Mumbai Indians this season. So, Vineet, regardless of the venue or anything, he would be raring to go because he's done so well against the Mumbai side.
Oh, absolutely. He has done not just against Mumbai, I think all the other teams, and specifically against Mumbai. Look, he's a big match player, and he loves the challenge, and he has done his yard with the ball. But quite interestingly, I'll just go back to what I witnessed and I saw observed in the training sessions. More than the bowling, it was Rashid Khan, the batter, who was having a field day. He had roughly 30-35 minutes of net session with the bat, and he was just stonking it like anything. Then he went to the practice sessions with the ball, just 15-minute session. And yeah, so that way, Rashid Khan, of course, the big threats with the ball. And Mumbai also realized that because in Rohit Sharma's practice session, there were 3 sidearm bowlers and there was 1 mystery leg spinner, a Scottish guy who's based out of Gujarat only, leg spinner. So he also bowled to Rohit Sharma. Of course, Prince Traveller was not there. So Mumbai also realized the threat Rashid Khan, comes in with. But what Mumbai has done well in the last 2 games that you would have noticed is that even though they have negated Rashid Khan, yes, they got 3 wickets, they have tried to take on Noor Ahmed. And Noor Ahmed have been leaked runs the last time these 2 teams met 37 runs in 4 overs. So I think that is the ploy. Rashid Khan threat will be there. It will be for them, Mumbai, to not give him wickets in clusters and probably try and put the pressure on Noor Ahmed early on.
Yeah. So we've got Rashid Khan's figures. Of course, he's just only one behind Shami. And, I won't spend too much time talking about Shami. We all know what he's doing and what he's capable of. And earlier we were running statistics of Rashid Khan, the batsman. In the last match against Chennai, he was the second highest scorer after Shubman Gill. That just gives you a sense of what he's capable of doing with the bat. But Chetan, I want to ask you, Kumar Karthik, could that be a possible option for the Mumbai Indians today? Yes, I'm talking about spin because he took 3 wickets in 2 games against Gujarat Titans this year, including the very prized wicket of Shubman Gill. Do you think we could see him today?
I think Mumbai's bowling lineup is pretty much sorted after that 5 for 5 in the last game. I'm not sure they're going to change too much around there. They finally hit a formula where it really, really works. Look, the permutations and combinations are too many at this point because obviously with the impact player coming in, Kumar Karthik, I mean, he was decent in terms of bowling against Gujarat Titans, and we've seen how these teams measure the value of matchups. So in terms of that particular matchup, yes, they would want him to go up against Shubman Gill. But the bigger question is, will they change what they did in Chennai, which proved to be so successful on that particular pitch, and probably take a risk on Kartikeya on a pitch which is supposed to be a little more batting friendly? So that remains to be seen. For one, I don't think so because Mumbai have a set formula. Whenever they hit a successful formula, they try to repeat it and replicate it and try to get things done that particular way. So let's see what they're trying to do. I mean, I'm not sure I can second guess this.
Okay, fair enough. Jamie, what are the matches that you are particularly looking forward to?
Whoever can get Surya Kumar Yadav. I know that Rashid Khan has not had the best time, but on the occasion, like Chetan already mentioned twice, this is going to be a batting friendly wicket, and if you get him right, it's a massive breakthrough. Noor Ahmed, Vineet's right. Noor Ahmed, when Mohit Sharma and Shami and Rashid are doing very well, he is the obvious option you want to go for. Maybe Surya Kumar Yadav says, "Hey, I'm going to do the same thing," and he falls. But for me, as good as Cameron Green has been, as good as I'll say the promise of Tim David, because I don't think Tim David has had as good a season as most would have backed him. And of course, Nihal Vadera, taking nothing away from him. Tilak Verma came back after missing 3-4 matches. But I think whoever can, frustrate and bog down Sky, that's the matchup. But because he is Sky, I really cannot say which bowler it's going to be. Most likely it'll be his own misjudgment that gets him out as compared to Rashid or Noor bowling some outstanding delivery or something.
Yeah, just speaking of Sky, he does have a century under his belt against Gujarat this season. Yes, that century came at the Wankhede, but the conditions are going to be very batter friendly. Speaking of that match at the Wankhede, we were talking about Rashid Khan with the bat. Vineet was talking about how much time he's spending in the nets practicing those skills. Remember, he did smash that 79 of 32 against Mumbai Indians in that losing cause at the Wankhede. So maybe this time around he'll be wanting that he gets a good knock towards the end if needed, but in a winning cause. Going back to Vineet, momentum is a big thing in sports, and certainly in a league, momentum becomes very, very crucial. In a format like a World Cup or the IPL, where you're playing consistently, and then despite ups and downs, you get into a qualifier, a do or die match like this one. Just purely speaking on momentum, would Mumbai have an upper hand, given that they've
Oh,
kind of
obviously.
been on an upswing the last few matches?
Hands down, yes. Mumbai are the team that are coming in with the momentum here. The kind of win that they had against Chennai. Look, it was a scrappy season for Mumbai throughout, but the Chennai win really, showed what Mumbai is. I mean, they are big match players. It's just a big match team. They are the teams. They do well and clutch scenarios. Yes, Gujarat have been near unbeatable throughout the season, but there have been a lot of flaws that have masked, those wins. Chetan and Jamie did touch upon a bit about the batting lineup. There's been a lot of shuffle. Vijay Shankar batting at 3 and 4 or 5. Hardik Pandya hasn't had the best of forms with the bat. He's not been bowling either. So yeah, by purely based on momentum and what we have seen in the last 1 week of the IPL, yeah, Mumbai are the teams have good momentum as compared to Gujarat Titans. But again, Gujarat are playing at their home, so you cannot discount that. One big thing for Gujarat would be Jamie did mention that Hardik Pandya has not been bowling. In fact, he has not bowled the last 4 games of Gujarat Titans. But one interesting thing in the practices that we noticed was Hardik Pandya bowling at full tilt, not just trying to amble across and get the delivery. He was bowling full tilt at Rashid Khan and Shubman Gill. So that is an indication that you could see Hardik Pandya take that new ball alongside Mohammad Shami, and probably they revert back to their success formula of the initial stages of the their campaign, where you had Shami and Pandya bowling the first 4 or 5 overs, and Rashid Khan coming in, Joshua Little was, and Mohit Sharma in the middle, Rashid and Noor Ahmed in the middle. In fact, Sharma and Josh Little doing the fag end of the work. So I mean, Gujarat would have to go back to that setup. There was a lot of talk about who's that bowler that could bog down a Suryakumar Yadav. I don't think you can bog down a Suryakumar Yadav, a player of his caliber. You cannot bog him down. You have to get him early, and Josh Little could be that person. That could mean Dashin Swaminathan sitting out, and they revert back to what their lineup was in the initial stages. So I am seeing Josh Little coming in just for that Suryakumar Yadav factor. And look, left armers, Indian players, they don't go well that.
Interestingly, we were showing those numbers from the last match for Mumbai, and we talked about momentum. But you know what, Jamie? How good is the Mumbai dressing room and think tank as well? Because that decision they made as far as bringing in their impact player and extra batsman in Vadera. It's one of the only two occasions I've seen the impact player rule being used in the most innovative fashion, where it's not the routine you add a batsman when you're batting and you get a bowler when you're bowling. And that kind of that was good to see. But the other issue I had with their performance last time around was Chris Jordan. What was he doing, taking 6 balls of a full over and not letting the impact player get to the strike? So it was, I thought that was very poor on his part, not understanding the match situation. But the impact player itself was used very innovatively by them.
Yeah, and that's something that you expect from Mumbai with their big coaching staff and their vast experience, right? And I think if you look at the last match, it's a perfect example, right? Yes, Lucknow were poor, 32 wickets, 32 runs, 8 wickets. But even tactically, right, that's where, for me, LSG's think tank really had a terrible day. And that's the day when Mumbai, everything they did pretty much turned out, right? I mean, sending Prerak Mankar, no disrespect, sending him to open, dropping Quinton Dava. I would have kept out someone like Nabil Ulaq, and I would have gone for 4 overseas batsmen, 1, 2, 3, 4, because Lucknow's Indian contingent is so bad, and they're so heavily reliant on their overseas batsmen and on that track. And then the rationing, the rationale that Kunal Pandya gave was, oh, the last time Kyle Mayers played, he got 22 ball 50, right? play him, also play De Kock, because it is De Kock we're talking about, right? So you compare the impact player they use, you compare the tactical decisions they made. That, for me, was the difference, as well as Akash Madhwal bowled, as well as the three runouts. Rohit got a run out, he had to be picked up by, I think, three, four players after that. But just the tactical decisions, this is where Mumbai Indians are the biggest threat, because they've been to the playoffs so often. Lucknow or a new team been here twice, which is good in 2 seasons, but it's no coincidence that they get knocked out in the same eliminator match. So tactically, I expect Mumbai Indians to have a far better day than Gujarat.
Yeah, and Chetan, you've been a fan of how well some of the coaches have done, especially for these new teams as well. You've talked about Ashish Nehra's role, especially, but it is going to be a clash of the dugout as well, right? A clash of the thinking talent and of the coaching staffs as well in big matches like these.
Oh, definitely, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you look at Mark Boucher. I mean, he's there, and there's a particular reason why Mumbai Indians have invested in him. Why Mahela Jayawardene has moved up as a director role in MI cricket operations. Why Boucher is much more hands-on with Mumbai Indians, and the kind of the kind of teacher student kind of modus operandi that Mark Boucher has. We've heard of this formula before, but it's not as strictly monitored. But again, kind of maintaining, that what Boucher says goes. That sort of an equation. On the other hand, you have somebody like Ashish Nehra, who seems like a much more chilled out guy, very fun. Always circling around the boundaries, talking to different players. He's talking to batsmen when they are fielding. He's talking to bowlers when they are batting. I mean, I just don't understand what the situation there is, but he's always circling around. He's always involved. It's almost like a football manager sort of a situation. So it'll be very, very intriguing to watch. However, I don't see how one team has advantage over the other. I mean, obviously, it'll either play out on the field or it won't. Just because of these two different dugouts. I mean, you look at the MI dugout, and they could feel a playing 11 just with that particular dugout. In terms of the support staff they have, and obviously in terms of what they've achieved, is much better than with what Gujarat Titans dugout probably has or done. But you can't deny, not every player goes on to become a great coach. Not every great coach necessarily has to be a great player. So it's going to be a battle of mental prowess, and I just can't wait for how it unfolds.
All right. I'm going to invite some of our viewers. If you have some questions, you can pitch in, and we'll try and take those questions as well. But let me go around our panel. Vineet, um, the last match, a lot of the focus when we were talking was about the conditions, right? And we saw that regardless of the match being played at Chepauk, it was slightly different than the first match that played there. Yes, there will be a little bit of the focus of the history of the Narendra Modi Stadium and everything players and teams have been capable of. But what do you think is going to be the key? If from anywhere, from anything, any team, any aspect, what is that one thing which is the key today?
Look, for Gujarat, the most important thing is tactically they have to be spot on. As Jamie mentioned, I mean, they cannot afford the kind of game that they had against Chennai and in the last two, three games they had. They have to be tactically spot on. They have to, uh, get their batting lineup sorted. One thing for both the teams, runs on the board. It's as simple as that. It is going to be high scoring. It is always a high scoring venue. 187 is the average score here. So you have to go all guns blazing, and only because of that factor, Mumbai seemed ahead.
Our viewer Ravi Shankar Kumar is talking about how Mumbai Indians should bat first in today's match. I was going to talk about the toss, Chetan, and the toss. Either of the teams wins, I think they're going to elect the bat, give their batsmen the time to put up a big score, and then hope that their bowlers can do the rest. I can assure that
No, I
no
think
team can chase 190 plus, is what Gopal is saying. So one, win the toss, bat first, and then what is a good total?
No, I think both sides will look to chase today. Both sides will look to chase today, and I think it's very important for Mumbai Indians to chase today. If they bat first, they won't win. That's I can pretty much guarantee that. I mean, they're not facing any other bowling attack. They're facing the best bowling attack in the tournament today. So it has happened before for them that they've scored 200, and they've won the game. But having said that, this is going to be a different pitch. This is going to be a very, very different team. I mean, I saw that comment that I doubt that no team can chase 190. This is going to be a really good batting track. you know, the eyes of the entire world will be on this, cricketing world will be on this, these two matches at Ahmedabad. Uh, I- India and Pakistan will probably play at Ahmedabad in the World Cup. There's also going to be the final of the World Cup. So these two pitches have to be the best pitches in the tournament that we've seen yet. So they're going to be absolutely batting beauties. I can pretty much guarantee that 200 can be chased. Will it be chased or not? That's very different. But I think both sides will look to chase today, and particularly for Mumbai Indians, they need to chase if they want to win.
And what's the key for in this match for you? That one thing that you're looking forward to.
Uh, One thing that I'm looking forward to, Shubman Gill. I think this is his year. Shubman Gill, his bat, his scoring ability, the way he scores runs. He is the crown prince of Indian cricket. He is the next superstar batsman for Indian cricket. So he's got the start. He's got the momentum. Just want to keep watching him bat, and bat. So we've got the next batsman superhero. So give it.
Yeah.
Just keep on scoring. That's all what we want.
I would agree with that. I was going to pick Shubman Gill as the key factor for me in this match, just to see how well he does. And if he does well, I have a feeling that Gujarat Titans could overcome any other hurdle as far as this match is concerned, given that Mumbai also has a very good batting lineup and the bowlers are also showing some registers. Ravi Shankar is also saying Mumbai Indians didn't lose any playoff match since 2017 qualifier one against rising Pune Super Giants. That's another reason, Jamie, of course, why you can never write off Mumbai, no matter how scrappy their performances have been, because it's just about pure experience. And we talked about that think tank that they have. They just know how to get through situations, and they're very good in the final four. That plus, what is the key for you?
Shuman Gill. I mean, I think it's so obvious. I know. With Mumbai's recent batting achievements and the potential of what Cameron Green, Suryakumar Yadav, Nihal Vedera, Tim David can do. And yes, Akash Madwala has been a revelation. He's actually made that looking like a half decent bowling unit. But I still think Hardik Pandya wins the toss. He's going to bat. Chetan's probably right. Rohit Sharma will chase. Shubman Gill 100, a very fine innings from Suryakumar Yadav. I know that there's a lot of buzz about this going to be a CSK Mumbai final, but something about the way that Hardik Pandya looked actually happy that Dhoni's team got there leads me to believe that he's going to meet Dhoni again. That was a very happy captain after a pretty bad loss, and the confidence he had. I think this team is going to take Mumbai.
All right. I think a lot of us are looking forward to what Shubman Gill delivers today, because the last match was a little bit of a disappointment from his side. And just purely as cricket
He
fans,
scored
just
40.
getting to watch him. Sorry?
He scored 40. Come on. I mean, yes, I know. I can
But that's
understand
the
that.
Well,
standard. You're expecting 140 these days.
Oh, I mean, no,
no,
you
but it
can't.
wasn't
That was
just
not a
the
hundred pitch.
it
Come on,
wasn't the
that was not a
score,
hundred pitch.
Chetan.
Still
It
top score
wasn't
for
the
his
score,
side.
Chetan. It's more about the occasion where he wasn't able to accelerate. He was on the pitch
It,
for quite some time.
yeah, but it was the kind of the pitch, the kind of situation. The wickets were falling at the other end. I mean, he was still the best batsman. I understand the disappointment. I understand, but and the expectations, and the bar is set really high already for Shubman Gill. But come on, that's just my
No, I think
opinion.
he will be disappointed himself. Trust me,
I'm
for
sure.
not
I'm
being
sure
able
they
to
didn't
deliver
win.
in
Yeah.
that match. But Vineet, what do the fans in Ahmedabad want? Is it purely Gujarat, or is
Gujarat Titans, of course. Yes, it's all Gujarat Titans, not just the fans, the cabs that they've been taking in, the drivers and all of them. It's all Hardik Pandya and Gujarat Titans. Mumbai Indians, I mean, yes, I mean, Gujarat Titans are very fairly new in the IPL, right? So there's still time for rivalry building up and all of those things. But yeah, the general mood is Gujarat Titans through and through. Mumbai, they want Mumbai to lose and probably have a CSK GT final here again.
okay? I think our other two experts got it pretty badly wrong the last time that they gave predictions for the eliminator. Jimmy, you want to go this
No,
time around?
no, no. I said no, no. Come on, Shivani. I said if Mumbai bat, they'll win. I said that. I
Okay,
said if
all right,
Mumbai
fair
bat
enough.
first,
Half
they'll
a
win.
point. Half a point.
Irrespective of who wins the toss, we're going to see a Shubman Gill century. He's got three centuries and a 94 here. It's his year, like Chetan said. The guy can do next to no wrong. And Gujarat Titans versus CSK.
Gujarat Titans versus CSK. Chetan, what do you say tonight?
Gujarat Titans versus CSK. I think Mumbai need a miracle today. Barring a miracle, I don't know where that's going to come from. Maybe Cam Green, maybe Surya Kumar Yadav, maybe from their bowling attack again. Barring a miracle, I don't see Mumbai winning this.
All right. I think Vineet is in Ahmedabad, so I'm guessing he'll go with what the fans in Ahmedabad want because he doesn't want to upset anybody around him. Is that
Yeah, I
right,
don't
Vineet?
want to upset. So in harsh tone, I will say Mumbai have the edge.
But we needed something to spice up, our own in-house predictions. But on that note, I'm saying goodbye to all of our friends and to our viewers as well. It's going to be a big match. It's going to be a good match. I think on that, all of us agree. But whether it's Mumbai or Gujarat that have the edge, we'll have to wait and see. Because if these matches go either ways, you can have all your statistics and all your reflections on paper, and you can pitch one against the other. Ultimately, it's about who works on the day and who delivers. All right, on that note, a big thanks to all of our friends, and thanks to our viewers as well. You can tune in one more time, same time, 2 p.m. on Sunday, when we will build up to the big final as well. Goodbye for now.